How do you go from launching the highest grossing YouTuber products ever to creating one of the biggest flops in the platform's history? One that's not only failed to make any real money, but also became a permanent stain on the reputations of the three names behind its creation, with everyone on the internet, including other YouTubers and even licensed doctors, calling out everything wrong with it.
Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories.
And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium,
which is also significantly over the USDA standards. So they'd be either under-eating calories or overeating sodium.
After the success of their billion-dollar chocolate and energy drink empires, MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul thought that by combining both of their brands, they could corner the kids' lunch market as well. And thus, Lunchly, the allegedly healthier Lunchables alternatives, was launched. Unfortunately for the three, unlike Prime or Feastables, Lunchly flopped harder than NFTs, becoming the most criticized YouTuber product within hours of its release. And the trio's terrible response to said criticism didn't help much either. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be analyzing the deserved downfall of Lunchly, why it failed as hard as it did, why its healthy branding drew criticism from doctors, and how it turned into an unintentional loot box with a gross surprise inside. But if you want to avoid uncertainty and make sure the videos you watch are high quality, all you have to do is subscribe, so hit that subscribe button and let's get on with the video. To understand why Lunchly took over the internet as soon as it launched, we have to look no further than the faces behind its creation: MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI. Each of the three had massive loyal fan bases, and at the time owned billion-dollar food and beverage brands that were practically printing money. So when they announced a new food product together, it was certain to draw some attention. But if there's one thing that all of these creators weren't known for, that was creating products that prioritized kids' nutrition or health. MrBeast's Feastables was a chocolate brand that reportedly earned over $250 million in 2024. Before that, he also had his own delivery-only fast food restaurant called MrBeast Burgers. And it doesn't take an expert to know that neither of the two were exactly healthy. Similarly, Logan Paul and KSI's beverage brand, Prime, which sold drinks containing as much caffeine as 6 cans of Coke, was even more successful, earning more than $1 billion in annual revenue. So why did these creators who sold sugary sweets, fast food, and energy drinks suddenly want to become involved in children's nutrition? Well, it probably had something to do with Lunchables' $1.8 billion annual sales. Though when Lunchly was first announced on September 16, 2024, they tried to market it as a better-for-you alternative, a healthier choice that was good for kids. The three raved about how Lunchly was much better than its competition every chance they got.
Lunchly versus Lunchables. Turkey stack 'em. 310 calories.
230 calories.
21 grams of sugar.
Only 7 grams of sugar.
If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients.
The product website even had a side-by-side comparison chart between Lunchables and Lunchly, highlighting how Lunchly had better nutritional values, and compared to the competition has real cheese, more electrolytes, and lower sugar. And at least at first, this marketing worked. During its launch day, major news outlets parroted the same phrasing of this product being, quote, healthier and, quote, better for you. But the only ones who got fooled by those claims were probably kids, or adults who barely skimmed through the headline, because those who actually took the time to read the nutritional labels on Lunchly, or even just zoomed in on what it actually included, saw right through this manipulative marketing gimmick. One of the first big names to call out Lunchly's insincere intention was YouTuber Dan TDM, who, upon seeing the product launch, tweeted, "What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better." Dan was no nutritionist himself, but being a father to 2 young kids and having a very young fandom as a Minecraft creator, Dan had every right to voice out his opinions on this new food product designed for kids. And he wasn't alone in doing so. In addition to hundreds of thousands of regular people, Dan's stance was also supported by other YouTubers, including Jojo Josiah, Squiddy, PlainRock124, and even PewDiePie, someone MrBeast admired openly.
Opinion on Lunchly. Yeah, I only found out about it yesterday. Like, you can tell none of them are parents. Because you should not feed your kids that garbage. Like, what the fuck?
But YouTubers weren't the only ones who were alarmed by what they saw. Lunchly's quote healthier claims were so blatantly misleading that even doctors had to step in to stop the spread of misinformation. Dr. Mike, a prominent medical YouTuber, was one of the first to make a video addressing Lunchly's controversy. In his video, he acknowledged that Lunchly's healthier claims might hold some truth on a technical level, but he also pointed out that Lunchly's nutritional content didn't meet the standards set by the USDA for school lunches, and why that was an issue.
I just think if a company was truly interested in creating a healthier lunch kit for kids, the USDA standards should be the minimum starting requirements. Otherwise, we're simply propagating the problem even further.
But as Logan himself later admitted in his so-called response video, selling quote healthy wasn't even the brand's main goal in the first place, further proving that the trio's entire healthier branding was nothing but empty buzzwords. Dr. Mike eventually created a second video about the situation, but before that, another reputable medical professional joined the discussion online, Dr. Brian Sutterer, a well-known sports doctor. He quoted Logan's tweet comparing the nutritional facts of Lunchly and Lunchables, stating, "Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day." He later expanded on this claim in a YouTube video, explaining that kids who prepackaged meals like Lunchly are marketed to don't necessarily need electrolyte drinks in their daily diet. By this point, the Lunchly drama had completely taken over the internet, tanking the brand's image and directly hitting its sales before it even had a chance to make money. If this had happened to any other reasonable brand, they would have owned up, fixed the issues, or at least tried to rebrand before the whole thing collapsed. But this seemingly obvious solution didn't cross any of the Lunchly creators' minds. Instead, they did the exact opposite, dismissing genuine concerns as nothing but hate for farming clicks and views, and aggressively retaliating against anyone who tried to prove otherwise. Now, credit where credit is due, MrBeast's response to the allegations was a bit more sensible than his peers, writing, "Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, in my opinion." But while MrBeast was smart enough to take a logical, measured approach to the situation, KSI and Logan Paul seemed determined to ruin everything. Logan, fueled by his pride as an energy drink owner, decided to debate an actual sports medicine doctor on the meaning of electrolytes. He responded to Dr. Sutterer's tweet claiming that they were just rebranding electrolytes, stating, "Crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium," and even went so far as to call the doctor an idiot. To which Dr. Sutterer clapped back once again, saying, "Crazy how a professional wrestler wants to start a debate with me about his electrolyte drink. But if the replies weren't turned off, maybe we could." Naturally, the internet jury quickly declared Logan as the loser in this one, especially after Dr. Sutterer uploaded that video explaining what electrolytes actually meant, though nobody really expected anything better from Logan, the guy who went as far as using his laboring wife and newborn to promote his product. But Logan's embarrassing moments online were nothing compared to the absolute mess KSI dragged himself into following the backlash, because instead of defending Lunchly against the allegations, he focused all his attention on trying to paint Dan, the first to call out Lunchly, as just a bitter YouTuber who hated the product for no reason.
What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple.
I'm sure there's just been an influx of Dan TDM fans
just lowering the IQ of this fucking Reddit, man.
Ironically, in his attempt to do so, all he did was prove to everyone just how closed-minded and out of touch he really was. Dan made a single tweet, and KSI was in full throttle of criticizing Dan non-stop, from mocking his old toy merch to bringing up Dan's previous candy sponsorships, even though KSI himself has worked with two of the companies he mocked in his tweets. When another creator, Kai Cenat, collaborated with McDonald's 2 weeks after Lunchly's release, KSI somehow found a way to bring up Dan again. Surprisingly, a few people did side with KSI on this perspective, like FaZe Banks, who wrote, "Hate to say it, but the same people who were bitching about MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul launching a Lunchables competitor are celebrating Kai Cenat's McDonald's collab. For the record, I think both are great, just some of you are so painfully fake, it's impossible not to call out. But anyone with even a shred of critical thinking could see just how these two scenarios were completely different." As one of the top replies to Banks stated, "To be fair, it's just a meal at McDonald's, just a fun little gimmick, not promoting anything else but a chicken Big Mac. Lunchly is just straight up a Lunchables competitor that's marketed as healthier, but shit ain't healthy regardless of it being healthier." This double standards debate also encouraged Dr. Mike to share his perspective on the brand once more.
I think if you're making a candy, while yes, overconsumption of candy and added sugar is a problem, I think a candy is not considered a health food. But when you say Lunchly is healthy or a healthier alternative, that's making claims that if debunked, you would face some criticism.
But while the fake healthy food scandal was still burning up the internet, Lunchly got hit with an even bigger, disgusting disaster. During its launch, a major component of Lunchly's branding was its inclusion of, quote, real cheese, when the competition could only call theirs cheese product.
Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese.
But this bold flex backfired hard, when, just a month after this product started hitting the shelves, reports of customers finding moldy cheese inside unopened Lunchly boxes began surfacing online.
Are you serious? Oh no!
One of the first to expose the issue online was Rosanna Pansino, a popular baking YouTuber. While filming a comparison video between Lunchly and Lunchables, she unexpectedly discovered mold inside the Lunchly pack. After filming, Rosanna posted about her experience on Twitter, with a sarcastic caption that stated, "Just opened my first Lunchly ever. So much mold. What flavor of mold did you guys get?" Followed by a more sincere tweet reading, "Please be careful everyone, this is not safe and not okay, especially for children." However, while Rosanna was well respected in her field, many questioned the credibility of her claims. After all, she already had a fairly long and very vocal track record of criticizing MrBeast prior to Lunchly's existence. Some even accused Rosanna of flat out lying or just being overly dramatic because of her personal bias against MrBeast, with one person writing, "One moldy cheese doesn't mean the whole brand is unsafe. Let's not blow one incident out of proportion." Many streamers also didn't believe her allegation for the same reason, but in their attempt to debunk Rosanna, they only validated her claims. A Spicy Cow, for instance, took it upon himself to find the truth, and it didn't take long for them to see it for themselves.
No way! What? No, chat, that was actually mold. That's 100% mold. I'm so sorry. Oh no, do you see it right there? Do you see it? Sealed and it's molded.
But that was nothing compared to what the streamer BMC found live on his broadcast. Literal spores growing out of the cheese inside an unopened Lunchly.
There's actually no way. No.
There were still the occasional outliers who tried to frame these discoveries as nothing more than clout-chasing attempts, with one fan writing, "Staged and fake reaction from this clip, I need more." The person on the left looked sus, grabbed that Lunchable, and almost like they knew already. But by this point, reports of mold had spread across the internet. It reached a point where even the FDA confirmed that they've been notified of the issue, including reports of people getting sick from eating it. That being said, finding mold in pre-packaged kits this doesn't automatically prove manufacturer negligence. In an interview with Oompaville, MrBeast provided a simple explanation of how this sort of issue can be out of their control.
Once it leaves your factory, you know, a truck that's delivering it could technically take a sharp turn and a box fall and puncture the seal, or honestly, even something as dumb as like when it's put on the shelves at the store. Like, I can't stop someone from walking to Walmart and grabbing a Lunchly, going to the potato chip aisle, putting it there, and then like a day later, an employee going, that doesn't belong there, and put it back. And like, I mean, obviously they shouldn't do that. They should throw it away. Of course. But like, so there's no mold when it leaves their factories, because that's just stupid. Why would we ever let that happen? But after that point, you know, there are variables that we just can't control.
But what made the whole mold thing worse than it already was Logan Paul and KSI's tone-deaf response to the issue. Instead of addressing it properly, they openly laughed about the mold controversy on their podcast.
Yeah, like I like my cheese moldy, bro.
And in a separate video, Logan even called Rosanna Pansino
an attention-hungry little clout goblin who has made it her entire identity to speak negatively on all things MrBeast.
At the peak of the mold controversy, rumors of a Lunchly recall also began circulating online, but both Logan and the FDA denied that any recall had actually happened. Still, by that point, the damage to the brand was already done. A good portion of the people purchasing Lunchly were buying it just to see if the mold rumors were true for themselves. And considering how both MrBeast and the Logan KSI duo had previously bragged about record-breaking sales for their other brands, the complete silence around Lunchly's sales figures spoke volumes. Lunchly was, by all metrics, a commercial flop. But there was more to this downfall than the controversy surrounding Lunchly itself. You see, KSI and Logan Paul's Prime, which was one of their major components that separates Lunchly from its competition, also experienced a massive downfall, and naturally, this impacted the demand for Lunchly's kits as well. During its peak, Prime managed to sell out 1 billion bottles in less than 2 years, but the brand has experienced an over 40% sales drop in 2025, with their UK revenue being down as much as 70%. But honestly, no one's surprised, because if history tells us anything, these creators are great at making products that trend, not products that have enough value to build a loyal fan base. Way before the Feastables hype in 2020, MrBeast launched MrBeast Burgers, which went from nationwide excitement to getting shut down prematurely due to a relentless wave of customer complaints, ranging from receiving raw food, late or missing deliveries, poor food quality, and non-existent consistency. Prime is also no stranger to similar complaints. In fact, prior to Lunchly's launch, Prime was already dealing with 9 separate lawsuits, with accusations ranging from deceptive marketing and non-disclosure of potentially harmful chemicals to falsely advertising the amount of caffeine on its label. But in Lunchly's case, even the hype that hard carried Feastables and Prime's success was barely present. During its launch, both MrBeast and Logan Paul were in the middle of fresh controversies that negatively affected their public image. For Jimmy, the infamous Dogpack 404 allegations had just surfaced online, painting Jimmy in a questionable light, and Logan Paul was still under fire for CryptoZoo, the massive alleged crypto scam he promoted that caused fans to lose millions of dollars. By the time Lunchly rolled out, the trio's reputation and brands were already losing momentum, and although Logan Paul and KSI have openly admitted to loving the attention of haters in the past, that's not the type of attention you want when it comes to food products, and the downfall of Lunchly proves that. If you enjoyed this video, click the video on screen to watch more.